Here, though, it is time for a very special and much anticipated part of this evening's programme.
Friday Night Film Club. Why not stop by the snack kiosk in the foyer for a foot-long Frankie's, some toffee butterkist, and a carton of Kiora? Then settle in for our feature presentation.
Well, there's much excitement here in the Times Radio studio, even more than there normally is, and that's quite high levels because it's time for Friday Night Film Club, and we hear from some of the biggest names across entertainment, and tonight we really, really do. Josh Rom is here. Josh, what's on the menu this evening?
Good evening, Hannah McInnes. Now, this release that we have this evening is very much one of the most anticipated releases of 2025. It is Maria, directed by Pablo Larraín. Now, You think of Pablo Larraín's movies. I think of Jackie starring Natalie Portman. I think of Spencer with Kristen Stewart playing Princess Diana. This is the third movie in his trilogy of iconic women of the world. And this film follows Maria Callas, the opera singer, the big diva herself, in her final days in Paris. So it's a look back. It is a biopic, but it's not necessarily the traditional biopic as we know it. It's set, as I said, within her final days, but it does contain a wide look back of her career. It looks at her illnesses. It looks at her relationship, of course, with Aristotle Onassis, providing a real good link there to his first film, of course, that was made depicting the life of Jackie Kennedy. But of course, its main star is Angelina Jolie in what's been kind of billed as her big film comeback. Some would argue that she hasn't really had a real role with pure depth since Girl Interrupted over 20 years ago. I would actually argue that she did deliver a very emotionally powerful role in the film Changeling. But this film, it's kind of her return to acting. Now, she is known for projects like Maleficent, where she stars as the title character, and of course her role in Tomb Raider, where she plays Lara Croft. Maria Callas, of course, is quite a divisive figure in the world at the time where she was living. She was derided very much by her own fans. She, as I mentioned before, she did have illnesses, and she had to pull out of quite a few performances, big performances, over her decades-long career in opera. So I asked Angelina about her approach playing a character that wasn't just real, because, of course, as I said, she's known for playing these real fictional roles, but actually playing someone that was real as Maria Callas, and everything that comes with playing a real-life character in a biopic. But also, how did she manage her approach, playing someone who was actually as divisive?
Well, it's true. They gave her a really hard time. The public gave her a really hard time. I mean, I hope the film expressed that she was dealing with a lot of private things. I think, like we try to put forward in the film, she had serious health issues. And I think she wasn't able to express them as much as we could have today, to say, well, she's not feeling well and she's sick, or this is something or that she couldn't see on stage and needed those glasses. She couldn't really see. So I think there was a lot about her that wasn't understood, and so she was unfairly judged sometimes as being like not showing up for something or being a diva, when in fact the effort to do what she did was harder than I think people knew. So I felt for her.
And could you relate to that as well?
I mean, not in that way, but I did relate to. I do care about my work, and I do care about the audience. I don't make art for myself, and so I do want desperately to connect. I see it as a relationship with an audience, and I think it means as much to me as it meant to her, that it was probably a big part of our life to feel less alone when our work connected to a stranger in the dark, you know? So for that, I think, and I'm sure she had her feelings hurt when somebody thought something about her that wasn't true.
And actually, on that note, Angelina, because in the movie, Maria is trying to find her voice again and is trying to find La Callas and almost like this inner part of herself that's been lost. Would you say that through this movie, you found another part of yourself?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, you're an artist and you go through different things in life and you wonder if certain parts of you have shut down or who you are or what you have inside of you, and if your light's dimmed and if you have less to contribute or if you don't know yourself. And so to push and rediscover things and try for things that I hadn't ever tried. And what a gift as an artist to be pushed again at this time in my life to do something that terrified me and I wasn't sure I could do is the greatest gift. And to be with a director you feel so comfortable with, that it's okay. If you try your best and you fail, it's all right because they're supporting you and helping you. So yeah, it was very nice.
Quite a revealing and surprisingly candid chat there from Angelina Jolie, talking about not just her loneliness playing the part, but also how she felt as an artist, saying that at times, you know, she felt like she didn't know whether she actually had something to contribute, whether her light was dimmed. So really quite powerful, really revealing stuff about Angelina and her character. But then, of course, we have to move over to the director of this film. Now, Pablo Larraín, he has, let's just say, good luck when it comes to the Oscars, when it comes to the actresses that he picks to star in his movies. Both Natalie Portman and Kristen Stewart both received Oscar nominations for their roles in his respective films. So he's also been very open in the past about how much he has grown up with Maria Callas, how much he admires Maria Callas. And I asked him, well, what qualities of Maria did you see in Angelina?
I think it's mystery. I think cinema is an act of mystery. I think it's essential for the role. Because even though, believe me, after all these years of admiration, of following her work, and then the research of this movie, making this movie, I still don't completely understand her. And so it's a very mysterious figure, I think. And to play that, you need to carry that mystery. And then I think also I was very blessed when I started to understand her approach to the character, which brought something that I didn't entirely measure before, which is a sense of stoicism. And he was very protective of her. And I took it in. And I think the movie is more interesting because of that. It's always a process, but unlike the other movies, this is a movie about an artist that is really at risk, is exposing herself, and now it's time to get back to her own voice, and that's, I think, the heart of the film.
One can't almost help but see the parallels between Maria Callas and Angelina Jolie, as Pablo Larraín was saying there about being an artist at risk of exposing herself, particularly Angelina Jolie coming out of a divorce and then coming back into this real deep emotional role that is Maria Callas, and adding this sense of real stoicism. So you kind of see the parallels. So that was Angelina Jolie and Pablo Larraín there talking about their new film Maria.